Hello everyone, Happy New Year. We hope everybody is doing fine. This is Ahmad Muradi. I'm providing a report about NETSTAIRS technology strategies that we have in mind and some of the areas that we're going to be addressing. So I figured the best thing to do is create a little video presentation, talk to you about where our head is at, what we are going to be doing, and how we plan to grow our business strategies. Some of the highlights that it's worth mentioning is we have right now just 97,669 visitors stat that we were able to accomplish just recently between last January to this January 1st. This 97,669 visitors grew from 2019 24,000 visitors. So we had a very good growth strategy in terms of volume, where it has been able through our channel partners and relationships that we have built to distribute many rooms, many services, and we hope with the addition of new product lines and services that we are going to come to the market, we still lead the innovation, technologies, and so forth. So before starting with that, I wanted to share some statistics with you from, for example, platforms that we subscribe to, such as what you see is clicking. That's how the data comes together. So we monitor traffic data every day in real time. We know where the people are coming from, and then we have gateways and platforms that every one of our channel partners, they have their own gateway, so therefore they can see what is going on and what kind of traffics are available as we are beginning to enter into January and beginning of the peaks and the valleys and so forth. So that gives you one good idea. With NETSTAIRS website, as we continue to post most dominant newsworthy information that it's publicly available to the public and to our investors and shareholders are in the press pages. So these you can find them available, and then by clicking on it, you can simply go and visit the content itself and be able to view the article in their site or in a PDF format, depending on your preference, or for download. So in that respect, we continue with the tradition, but we most importantly carry on with two of our leading products that is going to help us grow the business. One is ICDN, and the other one is Zimzim. With the inclusion of LetsCast, which for some of you have not seen, we will set up a session and talk about that product. But it's a complete platform that is set up to manage live events coming soon, building networks, channels, where you can create different contents of interest and be able to make those available to your own Rolodexes. So if you want to, for instance, looking at this, then you can come back and then look at different channels. So a network can have many channels. In this case, as you can see, for example, this is a Bloomberg TV showing you with the live chat. And as you put your name right in here, then the streaming from CDNs that is supplied to the providers, they automatically update themselves and they come here and they broadcast. And then thousands of viewers can watch this. This also can get integrated into the ICDN rooms. So when people can come in and watch as a DMC, DMR, they can watch the same cast being streamed from the source to many of these rooms simultaneously. So with that, we have created a series of rooms that right now we are experimenting with, such as experimental room, open house room, Akamai, multicast. LetsCast stream is an example of what I was just showing you. So this is a typical room that, again, depending on the camera and availability, it works, and then you can see the content is available in here. So subsequently, everything can work accordingly. So as I was explaining, adding a uh, background to what we are doing, like in here in the Wired magazine, and changing that automatically with another link, like LetsCast, is really simple by simply clicking on the save. Then it automatically updates and it changes the background, and the background becomes this LetsCast stream that you see. So with that settings, this takes about a few seconds. It updates it, allows the viewer to come in. So this is how we do DMC DMR, where the customers can see the streaming right from this room as we are speaking here. And then subsequently, we can mute ourselves here or have colleagues to join us here for what we call peercast. So the peercast connects to LetsCast. LetsCast allows peercast to deliver the content, and everybody in a group watch, they can watch. So group watch is going to become a very dominant marketplace for the OTT market as we are moving forward into this place. So this is one product that we are going to be spending time with. The other thing that is extremely important with ICDN right now, we are experimenting with two kinds of engine. One of the engines that right now is in current place is NSRTC2O. When you activate that right now based on the beta testers, then the users can simply take advantage of the latest encoding. The advantage of the latest encoding is going to become available during 2021 as we are again broadcasting ourselves in here and so forth, where you can find and see yourself in the area of real-time communication, where the content, AI, and collaboration are mixed together. And at the same time, we are going to be introducing some new products like Lenses Zoom, and we'll talk about that again as a different subject. And then this way, we are bringing that kind of settings to the marketplace. So with 2.0 beta version, the advantage is that it supports all the browsers, including Safari. So this way, there is no app, and people just simply use what should we call share a link. And with share a link, they can just share an event and then proceed accordingly. Obviously, these rooms are powered right now with different technologies. The third item that it's worth mentioning right now is the transformation of Zimzim. Zimzim right now comes with one room, where a designated room allowed to a person. But more importantly, that is really attractive right now is we integrated it to the Zoom meeting. So by connecting it to the Zoom meeting in here and being able to put your Zoom ID and the passcodes and so forth, you can create room in room. So therefore, when you're going to accommodate large groups of meeting and you want to take advantage of Zoom as well as Zimzim rooms, the idea is collaboration, not competition. So you can use the room settings in here where it says. And again, if you designate where the moderator is required or not required, then you can designate those as an open house. Where anonymous login is required or not required, those are already set up. And then you can build the text, and this room becomes available on your mobile devices and on your desktop devices. So when we go to rooms, as you can see here, then you can simply click on any of these areas from the desktop, and then automatically comes in, activates the SFU servers with the new settings that create a token. This token is important because you have to be aware of it. Because if you try to copy and paste this and send it to somebody, it is not going to work. It's that simple. And the consequence of that is that they're going to get an error message. And also, this is for the privacy, where you don't have somebody violate the privacy. So the solution is they have an icon in here that you can say copy. And when you copy in here, then you can simply proceed and share that link through different gadgets such as WhatsApp and so forth, and be able to share that link with the colleagues and then simply to tell them to join you. So this kind of settings are already set up. And then for the moderators that they have activated the Zoom, there is a blue Zoom button in here that it activates itself. And if that Zoom is open and active, then it allows you to see that. If not, and it just closes it. So depending on having Zoom open, so this is extremely important to be aware that you have to have a Zoom account and connecting it to the Zimzim. So with that settings, now our goal is to bring Zimzim into the production. And now we are going to talk about the most important parts of the subject, which is talking about the AI and some of the direction that we are heading out. So let's talk about that. One of my companies called G4, who has been really the oldest company that I have run, entered into a relationship to provide series of AI technologies through 2021 NETSTAIRS vision. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to really looking at it from end to end to build AI enabled features over our platforms. So we're going to start with certain platforms such as Zimzim, and then we are going to look at AI possibilities. These are the things that we now hired colleagues that they just finished school, partnering with groups that they are AWS and AI specialist, GCP and AI specialist, and so forth, so they can bring us to this agenda of computer vision, face recognition, object recognition, data analytic, open CV projects, and developing learning and machine learning projects, and obviously AWS. So 2021, we are going to be really moving into NETSTAIRS Cloud with a series of things. One of them is what we call computer vision. The theory that has been applied now is being able to take a source, creating a pose or pose of that person, and then take that detected pose and make it into a virtual world, like an avatar environment. So all of a sudden, we can transpose that person into a complete new world of opportunities. And this kind of things now becomes a new paradox of creative services, okay, with computer vision and so forth. The next thing is facial recognition algorithms, okay, being able to create patterns, recognitions, building verifications, authentications, security measures. So people, when they come to the room with the facial recognition algorithm, they can get in there, for example, with the user ID and the passcodes and things like that. Object recognition algorithm is extremely important in the future because as we are going to start looking at shared content with each other and so forth, we want to make sure that those objects are recognized. So therefore, as you can see, there are different parameters that you can recognize and create different settings based on what are you trying to accomplish, okay? So this kind of goals and objectives through the AI can come into formation for object recognition algorithm, and it can vary from authenticity of certain devices to all of a sudden something like you're seeing driving in the highway. Data mining and data processing and sklearn are a series of scientific protocols that right now is designed by unsupervised machine learning. They call it the K-means clusters. These are Kubernetes technologies that basically allows us to manage this data mining in a diverse world and get into learning process and feeding that information to the AI machines where they can tell us how well we are doing, what we need to do, and so forth. And that is one of the reasons that we are building this kind of things. OpenCV is an open source protocol for camera and video and communication. So there are a series of things that is happening through languages such as Jupyter, such as Python, and so forth. And there is a series of host of initiatives from pattern recognition that you see in here to eye motion detection, sensories, and so forth that are all coming together to this formation. So it's going to be a very interesting environment. We're going to be researching and bringing that to the market. The other thing that also is interesting is human pattern machine learning, Keros, through TensorFlow engine by Google. Our colleagues' completion of their education, their final project at the school is based on finishing a protocol that as you walk, the system starts predicting your behavior. and find out what kind of mood you are, and so forth and so on. So we're going to be starting presenting those kind of things as an overlay over the existing services. So when somebody wants to make that use available, then they can enable it, and then they can pay for those services or not. Gait recognition, human identification using his or her walking manners, these are all pattern recognition. So therefore, we're going to be introducing series of things that not only it helps us to learn, but also our clients from their own platforms and their database and so forth. Custom object detection, again, these are all extremely important because we want to be able to create different variations, use, and so forth. So any kind of object detection using YOLO protocol becomes that. And then we ultimately want to present that into a cloud artificial intelligence for NETSTAIRS. So this is one of the areas that we are going to be focusing on during 2021. Along with that, we're going to introduce another product called LetsZoom. LetsZoom probably is going to come out in the late spring, around the early summer. And the idea is a combination of Zoom, Slack, and WhatsApp streaming connected together, where we can basically use WebRTC and streaming services into ultra low latency, and providing protocols that, as it explains to itself, it's going to work as a hybrid of several of these products connected together. And the general idea is that we want LetsZoom become an alternative, because we felt that it can play. So Lenz law states the direction of induced current in waves. So we really applied the definition of lens into gaze and electromagnetic field, because as we're going to go into AI and some of the other things, we're going to explore some of those aspects. And then we're going to be talking about making connections safer with the video chat rooms. So there's going to be a series of preventive measures, technologies introduced. And then feel great and with secure web video messaging service that is going to be made pretty much like WhatsApp. Like I said, we go to video and so forth. So video call, text messaging, contact list, broadcast, share content, and stream real time will become dominant. And it'll be a very good way for telling a story, making a story, sharing a story. And LetsZoom will be another platform that it works purely on WebRTC standards of certain protocols that will be introduced to the marketplace. So it'll support all the three devices. And we believe that it's going to be very useful for on-air real-time communication, calling, real-time broadcasting. In certain areas, there are going to be some overlaps between the products, but their topology, their use, their applications are going to vary. And real-time content share and your room, your world, the way that we've always seen it, being able to accommodate and provide on-air streaming through LetsZoom. So these are what we think that is coming during 2021, and it is our hope our colleagues can take advantage of it and be able to use it for customer orientation, client education, and understanding. So to summarize our product lines, we're going to have Pixel, we're going to have ICDN, we are going to continue with Zimzim and its introduction with the Zoom platform. We're going to obviously produce and broadcast services through LetsCast, and LetsZoom becomes the new add-on to our product line and platform technologies as a service. So with that in mind, I want to thank you all for joining us and listening to our presentation. And if you have any suggestions or input, you can reach out directly to me at amoradi@netstairs.com, or drop us an inbox from webform@netstairs.com through contact page. And we look forward to serve your needs. And thank you for being with us and trusting upon us. Cheers.